It's been 10 years since the horrific car crash on the Bay Bridge that ended with a woman in the water fighting for her life. Today, the Maryland woman is sharing her story with Fox 5's Nanasan Tuabansu. It's one she hopes will inspire others to find courage.
When people look at me walking down the street, they have no idea what I've been through.
What's your name? I called your mom.
My name is Morgan Lake.
Morgan, hang on. Help is coming, okay?
It was a hot summer evening in 2013.
July 19th, which I call my second birthday.
Morgan Lake was driving eastbound on the Bay Bridge.
As I get to pretty much like the incline middle part of the bridge, I notice that there is a big red 18-wheeler flying behind me in my rearview mirror.
Investigators say Lake was going no more than 5 miles per hour, but the driver of the truck, who was doing about 50, didn't slow down, slamming into the back of Lake's Chrysler.
And pushed me on top into the Jersey wall of the bridge and then slid onto the barrier to where I started teetering. Literally life and death.
Her car fell about 30 feet into the bay.
When the water started submerging in quickly, like a waterfall, I thought I was going to die. But it was the sensation of drowning that turned my mind around.
There's nobody else there, is there? No. Okay.
You gotta hold on, okay?
She was able to free herself through the shattered driver's side window and started swimming towards the bridge. In the cell phone footage, you can see Lake clinging onto the rocks as she waited for help.
I was able to pull myself onto the rock. My legs were still hanging out of the water.
Lake was taken to the University of Maryland Shock Trauma Center in Baltimore, where she was treated for her injuries.
You have to stay calm, you have to breathe, and you have to tread water.
10 years after the terrifying crash, Morgan, who lives in Gaithersburg, is on a mission. She's now a swim instructor and coach, encouraging people to learn how to swim.
I feel completely overjoyed when one of my students can master the water.
Her story of survival is one that inspires many, including myself. I'm learning how to swim.
Do you remember your first lesson?
I remember I was nervous.
Like many people, I was scared and filled with fear.
Fear is a big factor when learning how to swim, and I think it comes in a few different forms.
Peter Lord is the aquatics director at the YMCA of Metropolitan Washington and my swim instructor.
Water is the great equalizer.
Peter says fear is normal and is sometimes generational.
I've heard of people that their grandparent had a bad experience and lost someone in the water, and they have only told them that they need to stay away from the water and never go in.
The YMCA is trying to change that with a number of grants and programs to teach adults and children how to swim for free.
Swimming is the #2 cause of death in children under the age of 5.
And according to the CDC, the fatal drowning rate of black children is 3 times higher than white children.
And it's a complex issue. It has a lot of ramifications socio-geographically, economically, and even culturally.
Peter hopes the programs that the Y offers can help break some of these barriers.
In our grant program, we actually have a woman who is 83 years old, and she's learning how to swim for the very first time. And it's very inspiring.
Learning how to swim at times can be frustrating. Floating can be a challenge, and kicking can be difficult. But with courage and patience, you can and will gain a life-saving skill.
Had I not had that, I wouldn't be here talking to you today.
Since becoming a certified swim instructor, Morgan has taught over 70 adults and children how to swim. She plans to write a book about her story and how she was given a second chance at life to help potentially save others. And I think it's fantastic that Morgan's doing that, and fantastic that it spurred Nana to learn how to swim, because that's important, especially in the Black community. So many people don't know how to swim, so it's important that she's showing by example.
Exactly, and it's so nice to see, reaching back and helping others, which is so important nowadays. And I mean, I'm not the best swimmer in the world. I used to be able to dog paddle. Now I can kind of stroke a little bit because I've taken lessons before, and I can save myself. But I guess it would never hurt to improve on that.
Absolutely.
Also.
Yeah, I learned how to swim as a young child. My parents were very adamant that we all learn how to swim. I was a strong swimmer for a long time. Now it's kind of, I float.